The only thing I wish they would have done on this kayak that would have really made rigging a lot simpler is to put a plate like this inside of this battery compartment. Hey guys, what's up? Richie, Parnell here, and we are getting ready. Today's rigging day on the UMAX. I'm getting ready to get this thing set up so that way I can get it on the water. Brought this thing home a week ago, left to go to youth camp for a week. If you guys haven't figured it out yet, my job during the day, I'm a family ministry pastor, so we've been at youth camp this week with hundreds of kids and leaders, and so finally getting a chance to get out here and get this thing rigged up. Really excited. I'm going to do a quick walkthrough with you guys of everything that I'm using today and everything we're going to be putting on it today, everything I'm going to be transferring over from the PWR. I'm not going to do a full length, like hour-long non-stop rigging video, but I will stop and just jump in from time to time to show you guys what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. That way, if you've got a UMAX, if you're getting ready to pick up a UMAX and you're going to start rigging, maybe this will help you to be able to get it done quickly and get it done right. So let's take a look at everything that I've got that we're going to be putting on this thing today. All right, so I told you guys we're going to be running the NuCanoe UMAX on this. So obviously I don't need like a third-party adapter for the bow mount because it's got this grip plate mount on it. And so I'm just going to be taking my puck off of my PWR over there and transferring it over to this, and then to be able to get my NuCanoe mounted on here. I'll show you how I'm gonna do my wiring, everything kind of as we get to the back, because that's where everything's at. But I'm gonna be running the gear pod. I'm mainly running this for storage, and then for my my battery for my Garmin, and just a few other things that I'm gonna be doing with this over time that I'm gonna have on this NuCanoe. And I love the gear pod. I had this on my unlimited, and it's definitely a worthwhile investment. I'm gonna run my transducer on the transducer React system. This is the newer version of this, so this is gonna be really sweet. You know, guys, I don't run a big graph. You know, although I like a big kayak, I like a simple setup. Right now I'm just running this Garmin 4CV, and so I'm gonna have that running on that retract system, and it's probably gonna be mounted somewhere like right here, easy to see because it doesn't have a really big screen on it. But I just like the simplicity of it, the way that I fish. If I know depth, if I know water temperature, then I'm usually pretty good to go. I think I told you guys in the pickup video, I'm running the rudder system on here, coming from the PWR. Love the foot control steering. Love having a rudder on these bigger kayaks because they've got such a big rear end on them. That rudder system is really just going to kind of help me be able to track better. Let's jump all the way to the back because that's where I've got all my wiring stuff at, and I'll show you guys what I'm going to do with my batteries on this. It's a little different than my PWR. I'm going to run my wiring obviously through the front all the way back here to this battery compartment that's built into the UMAX, and I'm going to be running 6-gauge marine wire on this, and I am going to be using these Anderson connectors. And I love these waterproof boots from PowerWorks. These things are absolutely phenomenal. If you haven't been using these on your Anderson connectors, man, for the price that you pay for these, they're super cheap, and you can go to PowerWorks and you can order these. They're fantastic, super good quality. You have to make sure that you order the source side, and then you also have to order the load side. You have to order 2 different boots for each different connector. So a load side and a source side. And again, those slide over your Anderson connectors, and they make a really great watertight seal on those things. And then whenever obviously you're not using them, they've got caps that you can close over them. Obviously typical, Anderson connectors. And then what I love about the UMAX is it comes with these Max ports, which are phenomenal. Man, I was checking these things out. These things are made so well and just very, very, very watertight. And so I'm gonna have one of those. I'm gonna run one of those inside here. The only thing I wish they would have done on this kayak that would have really made rigging a lot simpler is to put a plate like this inside of this battery compartment. I love this battery compartment. I love the design. It is like insanely heavy duty and watertight. My whole neighborhood just heard me snap that latch because that's how tight it is. But it's watertight. It's definitely not going to let water in, which is awesome. So I'm not super concerned about drilling a hole there, but it just would have made sense given what this area of your kayak is going to be used for. just to go ahead and mold one of these into that. But that's, you know, that's my gripe for the day. Either way, it's going to work out fine. I'm going to run my wiring from there. Going to use a max port back here, and then I'm going to obviously use a max port up here on this front plate, so that way I can have my Anderson connectors come through there. And then got the Acatech cell phone holder, like I said. I'm going to throw that on there as well. And everything else is going to transfer over from my PWR. Double header, cup holder, you know, any little things that I've got on there that I'm going to need. Obviously, my lock and load base for my graph and everything is going to transfer over. And I'm going to do my battery compartment a little different. Like I said, I'm taking my battery out of my black pack, and I'm going to actually put it back there, which is going to give me all of my storage. All of my 3600 boxes are out of here right now because I took them to youth camp thinking I was going to fish, but when you're trying to wrangle that many kids, you're definitely not doing much fishing. So my battery and stuff is going to come out of my black pack and go into that battery compartment on the UMAX, which means I'm going to gain so much of my space back. I'm just going to put like a blank out over this Yakatech through hole on here, and then that'll be watertight, and then my black pack will just be a black pack at that point. All of my batteries and all of that stuff will just be in the battery compartment. So yeah, you guys just follow along. We're going to jump into this thing, get this thing rigged out. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long because I'm ready to get this thing on the water and get out there and let you guys see some on the water footage, just my first impressions and first thoughts once we get this thing rigged out. Quick, I just want to jump on here and show you guys how we're going to run our cable through the kayak on this UMAX. It's a long kayak, and these access ports on these NuCanoes are a little smaller, but with the right tools, you know, you can do this and make it quick and easy and simple. Before I do that, let me show you guys these new HD access ports real quick. These things are absolutely phenomenal. These things are just way more heavy duty than the ones that came on the original Unlimited. Just the material they're made of is a lot thicker. The gaskets are a lot nicer. The way they molded this in, I can just tell this is going to be a lot more watertight. If you had a Unlimited, you know those access ports could be a little bit of a headache, but I can already tell that these things are going to be absolutely just fantastic and a lot more heavy duty to be able to run your cables through. So let me show you what I'm using here. I'm using these fiberglass rods, and you can pick these things up at Harbor Freight. You can pick them up at Amazon. I'll leave a link in the description for some of the ones that I've seen on Amazon. And these things are fantastic. Electricians use these. You can just attach as many of these together as you need to. They're flexible, and you just attach as many as you need and just go ahead and run that all the way through the kayak. And then I just got our cable tied on here with some electrical tape, and we'll just pull that cable right through there. It'll only take a second. Hey guys, I want to show you real quick what we're doing to be able to make these connections. When you're working with this, with these larger cables, this is 6-gauge marine cable. I've done this with 8-gauge as well before. When you're doing this, man, back in the day, I used to always try to use some channel locks or some heavy-duty pliers or just something, and just really man up on it to get these connections nice and tight and get these things crimped down. If you've ever used these Anderson connectors, you know you've got these little connectors that you've got to put on the end of the cable, and they can be a real pain. And that's why this tool right here, a hydraulic crimper, is an absolute game changer. This thing is well worth the money. I'll leave a link in the description, and you guys can jump on Amazon. You can pick one of these things up for like 40 bucks, and I'm telling you, man, it will save you some time, it will save you some headache, and it will guarantee that you get good connections on all of these Anderson plugs that you're running on your kayaks, because the last thing you want is a bad connection for your battery cable. For these Anderson connectors, you guys want to make sure they're solid. So you know, spend the extra money, pick up one of those hydraulic crimpers, and it will absolutely make a night and day difference on your connections that you guys are making on your kayak. All right guys, real quick, I want to show you the finished product on what this looks like up front. We got our cables ran through our max ports. Those max ports are absolutely fantastic, super easy to use. I love the fact that you can custom drill the holes for your cables. It is a super tight, watertight seal on that. That's going to be phenomenal. And these HD access ports and everything are just absolutely amazing. So yeah, that's what the finished product looks like on the front whenever we get done with our with how we wire our Anderson plugs for our trolling motor. Now we're going to jump to the back and get started on that connection. All right guys, we just got this rear connection done. We got our Anderson plug ran through our max port, and now we're going to start working on a rudder and foot controlled steering. All right guys, we're getting ready to install the foot controlled rudder system, and I wanted to just do a quick overview of what all came in the box, that way you guys can see what comes in this thing. So you've got your rudder, obviously. You've got your quick connect system for the transom. You've got your foot pedal, and then you have your cable that runs from the back. This is your pull cord for the rudder system, and then the last thing that we've got here is our track mount, like retract for that. You know, on the Unlimited, this stuff just came mounted in the kayak. It's your little pulley system and then your little cleat, but now they give you this as a track mount, so that way you can kind of mount it wherever you want to mount it. And then of course instructions. So we're going to get this on here, and then we'll let you guys see the finished product. All right guys, we just got done this evening getting this thing rigged out. I want to turn this thing around and do a really quick walkthrough with you. The only thing we did not get done tonight was the graph. I had to order a few more things that aren't going to be here till Monday, but I'm going to give you guys a quick overview of everything we got done this evening. All right guys, so we got the trolling motor hooked up. Again, we use those PowerWorks waterproof boots, Anderson connectors, and man, I love those max ports. Those got the gear pod installed up front. I've got it just loaded down with some soft plastics, a dry box, rain gear, just a few other things that I usually would keep in the front of my hatch on my PWR. Right now I'm going to be running that Yak Attack phone holder right there, so that way I can get some straight on shots whenever I'm out on the water. Got the foot controlled rudder installed. Man, this thing is just smooth. Absolutely love that foot controlled steering. It's going to be so smooth. That's where the fish finder is going to go once I get everything for it. And then this is the retract system for the rudder. It is absolutely awesome. It's the same system you would use if you were running a Torpedo or an AK-180 and K300. And then going back to the back, got my black pack back. We just got it strapped in with some Yak Attack tie downs, and just these small little cam straps that we use for other things just around the house and around the outdoors. And then this right now is the battery setup. I'm going to clean these wires up a little bit more on top of the battery, but I've got everything running through those max ports. You guys know how I love my pool noodles, and I was working on this thing a minute ago, so I've got my Amped Outdoors Bluetooth thing just turned around kind of weird, but I'm going to work on getting some closed cell foam in here where I can have that battery in there and it won't slide around. But for right now, the pool noodle is going to do the job. And then here's this rudder, man. This system is just absolutely bomber. Super impressed with NuCanoe and the stuff that they put out, man. Just the way that this system is set up, the way that this thing runs, I mean, it is just absolutely just bomber. Just really excited to get this thing out of the water. Was hoping to get done a little earlier and take it out for its maiden voyage tonight, but we'll get some time this week and we'll get this thing on the water. We'll do a full review for you guys soon. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching today. Man, this is such a fun kayak to rig out. It's like a big Lego set. And so everything's just plug and play. NuCanoe does a fantastic job with all of the gear that they have for this thing, and the way that it sets up is just super easy. Make sure that you guys leave a comment below if you've got any questions about anything that we did today, how we rigged this thing out, how we ran our wiring. If you've got any questions about the foot control steering, if you've got any questions about the rudder system, anything that you guys have seen on this kayak today as we've been rigging it out, make sure that you leave a comment below. Let me know what you need to know. Let me know what you think. Let me know maybe what you would have done different. And the comments below. And then also make sure that you guys like and subscribe, so that way you can stay up to date on all the upcoming videos on this UMAX, because you're going to want to see all the walkthroughs, all the reviews that we do, the on the water reviews, initial thoughts, and you're definitely going to want to see me slime this thing up over the next few weeks. If you're on the fence, if you're considering the UMAX, you know, I can say, at least at this point, I'm not disappointed at all so far, and I know I will not be once I get it on the water. So you guys make sure you follow along, and as always, I'll see you guys on the water.